Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hard Cannon Podcast. I'm your host, Epic Rev, Epic Ray Comedy, back for another week of laughs and a bit of research as we dive into the stories of lore and cinema. As we take a deep dive, but for this week, we're just going to be sitting back and doing a bonus episode. We've been having quite a bit of those, but we're just going to just try and keep things fresh every week. You know, not try and burn out all our ideas for for our canon episodes. But this week we're going to talk about something very special, a game that has been out for well over a decade, probably getting close to its 2 decade point right now. We're going to be discussing the game Skyrim, specifically Elder Scrolls 5, if I want to be punctual about it. And we're just going to talk about our favorite things we like about the game. It's a game that's probably gone through several iterations of it. I'm pretty sure we've seen a remastered version, anniversary version, another anniversary version on top of that. But there's just something special about going back to Skyrim after just having a little break from it, because you go back, you pick a character, possibly a new race that you've been doing, and then you ultimately end up playing the exact same thing that you always play in the game, a stealth archer every single time. We've all done it. I've done it. My guess, Remy Day has probably possibly done that as well. We say all just
I've
going to
never,
use magic. Say again.
I've never actually done a stealth archer.
Really, you are probably one of the 1% that hasn't.
No, I always end up going as basically, well, similar to my D&D characters. I end up either going as just a warrior, just running in and hitting everything.
And like I do feel sometimes that I do like to, and that goes particularly with the quest lines. Like, so when it comes to the quest lines, I probably adapt more to those quest lines, my play style and everything. So if like I play the companions, I usually have like a warrior, like charge in, attack, like probably heavy armor build, great sword or something like that. I usually use that campaign for that. And then when I jump into like the Thieves Guild or Dark Brotherhood questline, I play mostly like a stealth archer, or I wear light armor. Probably use like maybe a sword and dagger combination, things like that. And when I go to the Mages Guild, I play a pure magic character because they give you the things you need to basically abuse magic in the game. So it honestly only plays on what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I know with my playthroughs that I end up doing, it's mostly what was it? I'll try and be like themed around something, and then it eventually just devolves into okay, gonna go and become a basically become a dwarf and just smith my way up to heavy armor of mostly the ah what's the I forget what's the material on Solstheim, the ice material. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called right now.
Let me see. I'm going to start from the bottom. It's steel. Crap. It's steel. Wait, no. It's iron. Wait, no. It's
Listen,
iron,
listen,
steel, glass, dwarven, elven, ebony, and daedric and dragon. Those are the only ones I know for sure.
yeah, I know with Solstheim they did add another material in. I just cannot remember what it is for the life of me. Give me just a mo. Um,
Is it corrodium?
no, corundium is was it? Corundium, I think, is used.
Is like a subset of iron, because I know you use corrodium for like the shield of Isgamor, because that's not steel. That's corrodium ore, I believe, to strengthen that.
Yeah, so a lot of it is you can use it. I'm looking at the wiki right now. You can use it for scaled armor, banded iron armor, and steel plate armor, as well as the crossbows. It looks like for the steel crossbow, but
Really?
mostly it looks like yeah, but it looks like it's mostly used for to make locks for the Homesteads DLC.
I did not know. See, I've been playing Skyrim all these years. And I didn't know I could craft lock picks. This is something new to me. This is very new to me. I did not know this at all. So been playing the game probably like 15 years now, and I still finding something new.
Hmm.
So
Don't know if it's used for lockpicks, but
so what would you when you so how were you introduced to Skyrim?
so when I was introduced to Skyrim, it was Skyrim itself. So I know a lot of so for a lot of like the Elder Scrolls community, a lot of them started off with um like more of the original games. Like a lot of people got into Oblivion to start off with, or they got off into um I'm forgetting the other games now. The only one that comes to my mind is Daggerfall, and that's ancient game. um but yeah, like I know we've got Oblivion, we've got Morrowind, we've got Skyrim. There's a couple others I cannot remember off the top of my head. But with me, I played a little bit of Oblivion originally with my dad. It only like maybe the first like 10 minutes of the game, like got out of the sewers and got out into just outside the Imperial City, and then that's basically my up until the new version that just came out or the remastered one. That was my extent of Elder Scrolls until Skyrim came along.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it was. I can't
Different.
remember exactly like how I really got into it there, but it was. I think it just like it was gifted to me, or I just saw it one day and went, "Hey, that looks interesting,"
That's fair. That's fair.
and then yeah, almost 2 decades later, I still play it.
I was introduced to it. So these were the same buddies who introduced me to D&D in college, and I guess the game that came out like recently, and they brought me over to one of my friend's places, and he's like, "You ever heard of Skyrim?" I'm like, "No, haven't." And I only played, I want to say, 2 hours worth of gameplay, but I knew this was a game that I wanted, that I wanted. So I ended up I saved up some money, got me because at the time I did not have a PS3, I had a PS2. I saved the money, got a PS3, bought Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and that was genuinely the only game I played for the longest. I got other games like Call of Duty and Dragon Ball Z and Assassin's Creed after that, but I ultimately started my first PS3 game was Elder Scrolls Skyrim. That is what I played. And I spent
Nice.
hours upon hours upon hours, as you should, playing that game.
Yeah, Skyrim is definitely one of those games where you can look at the time. It's like maybe like when it came out, you're off school. It's the weekend. You look, and it's like, okay, it's like 10 o'clock. Get a couple hours in, and then we'll go do something else. You look at, you boot up the game. You start doing some quests. You look to the clock. You look to the clock. It's now 11 o'clock at night.
Like, bloody hell, what happened?
Like, where'd the time go?
And like
I've got homework. No.
it's one of those things. It's like you you thing is and every gamer has gone through this. Like, you cannot tell me anyone is different. They say like, okay, I'll just play this one mission and then I'll stop playing. And then that one mission is like, okay, we got something special if you do this mission. I'm like, well, I can't just say no to that, especially if it's a free item involved. Next, those free items turn to three other quest lines and missions. Next, as Remy said, you are bumping up to 11 o'clock at night. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to go to work in the morning. I have class in the morning, but I need to take care of Merida's Beacon before I go to sleep, though.
Uh, Meridia's Beacon.
Or I
One
need to
of
find,
the.
or I need to find those stones of Baron's Eye for some odd reason.
I still have never found all of them.
I haven't either. I've gotten
I don't
close.
actually know how many there are in the game.
There are 24.
Oh, bloody hell.
I've
That's a
gotten
lot of.
up to 21, I believe, and I was like, you know what? It's really not that serious. And now it's gonna be a pet peeve of me that I'm gonna start a playthrough and I'm gonna end up finding one. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And I've said that for the past 5 playthroughs I've done this game. Never found all of them.
Uh, yeah,
It
I think the only time that I've ever really not even hunted them down, but really come across them was when I've accidentally found one in like a ruin or a camp or something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, these things. Or it's like you accident when you find one in the thieves guild, and it's like, oh yeah, these are a collectible, aren't they? Yoink.
so the very first one I ever found, and the very first one I ever found was when I came to Whiterun the very first time, because that's usually where everyone starts off with. That's the first city you visit in Skyrim. Um, I immediately went off to the right and I went to go see the companions, and I saw that stone in Godlike Whitemane's room, and I'm like, that looks shiny, and I want it. But I didn't know how to actively steal in the game and not and get away with it at the time. But once I figured it out, oh, my other playthroughs were so much more easier. Because the thing is,
Nothing
I
that's nailed
started
down.
wait. Say again.
Nothing that isn't nailed down is safe.
Exactly. Like the one time I took, because I actually like Kyle like Whitemane as the character. I really do. I enjoy his story arc. The one time I went into his quarters and took something is when the dude from the Skyforge, he tells you to go into Kalak's room and get it. And I'm like, you're telling me to go into his room and get this piece, and y'all trusted me to go in there by myself, to go in there and bring you these pieces and not take anything, right? Okay, bet. As soon as I went in there, I closed that door and I took everything that was a nail down.
It's like, and kleptomaniac mode engaged.
Bingo. But the issue was in early game, there's no one around until you do either like the Thieves Guild quest line to sell stuff to. You have to literally find people to sell like items that like you can't sell them anywhere else, and that's primarily why I like to join the Thieves Guild quest line right after the campaigns, because I usually am weighed down my stuff that I stole, and like I want to get the money, I want to get it off of me.
The 10,000 wheels of cheese.
You know, someone stole your sweet roll.
You know the amount of times that one of the guards has turned around and goes, "Let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll." It's like, you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna go steal a sweet roll.
No, I'm gonna steal your sweet roll. The one that's sitting. No, I'm gonna wait. Follow you till you go to sleep. There's your sweet roll. All right, cool. Yoink, it's mine.
Yeah,
So I actually did steal your sleep rolls. Dang it, your sweet roll, sir.
with the sleep rolls now.
But so getting into the so what races did you play? Did you ever play every race in the game, or were there ones you're particularly like fond of?
So I'm pretty boring when it actually comes to the races. Like I looked at pretty much all the races, but I've always ended up going Imperial, mostly for the fact of the gold, where you just, especially in the early game, like you you need gold for buying or selling anything, and especially in the early game, it's always difficult to come across gold. So
So,
I'd always ended up picking the Imperial, and then it's just become a what's it? It's just become my habit of going, okay, here, we're going in. It's like, oh yeah, I wanna do something different this time, and then I ended up picking Imperial again.
so how does the gold factor in with the imperial?
So I think if I remember correctly, they have a perk on them, like because every single race has their own like race specific perk. Where the Imperial, they have, if I remember correctly, they have like an extra percentage chance to get more gold from any interaction that will actually give gold, whether that's quest rewards, chests, looting, like looting bodies, selling. Like it's it's like an extra like 5% chance or something like that.
Really?
But
I did not know
it can
that.
come rather in handy. Yeah,
I'm kind of curious. Like, if you do Imperial and you join the Stormcloaks, will you be accepted by them? Because it seems like it'd be a very like like there'd be a little bit of conflict. It's like you're joining the Stormcloaks, and you're like, I get that, but you want to join and fight for Skyrim, but you're not a son or daughter of Skyrim. Like you're an Imperial, so I can see the conflict that would rise from that. But I'm guessing at this point they're like, you know what, you don't like the Imperials. You wanna join us and help us? We'll take you, but we're gonna keep a very close eye on you.
yeah. Well, I'd say for like the two sides in the Civil War, because the character is the Dragonborn, they kind of look over the fact that they are of like whatever their actual character race is. Like you don't it's like you don't normally see many what was it? Like you don't normally see many of like the lizard folk. I forget their name off the top of my head, but you don't
Argonian,
normally see many of them in Algonian. That's it. But you don't normally see many of them in either side of the war. But you know that they are in the world because you do see them in like the towns and cities as traders,
true, very
or as
true.
like in like with with Riften, like you've got one of the actual the barmaid and the barman,
That's fair. That's fair.
and there are a couple that you'd find, but yeah, I guess like canonically wise, it would look weird to be like a Nord, sorry, not a Nord, being a Imperial and then fighting against the Imperials.
You know what? I'm gonna see how that goes. Like when I was planning on doing a playthrough, um, on on my channel, but just technical things have kept me from actually doing it. But I might actually do one in my personal playthrough. Actually, I might do that today, and I actually might do the Imperial character and see how that goes. I honestly want to see what the interactions probably will be. This will be probably like my eighth or ninth playthrough of the game, possibly. But I kind of want to see how the reactions be because for the races I pick I usually only pick like three. I pick the Red Guards, the Nords, or I pick the Britons. The Britons for the magic use, obviously. The Nords for just to play as a Nord. There's nothing really special about that one to play because the ice resistance really isn't that big of an issue to me because you can get armor that you can reduce all that stuff. So it really isn't that beneficial to me at all. But the Red Guard I
Yeah.
picked strictly was because of the poison. And because when I played my first playthrough, I think I played as a Nord and I was getting poisoned constantly, like consistently
Mm,
poisoned. So I picked the Red Guard to prevent a lot of that issue from happening. But when I end up become werewolf, I destroyed. I got 100% resistance to diseases, so I got the disease resistance as well as the poison resistance. So I could go around the world and be attacked by pretty much anything. And the only thing I would probably suffer to is probably just the elements, which you can build armor for to resist against that stuff anyway.
yeah. And if you want to go the was it the bit of a cheaty route as well, I'd say you can do the whole it's like the alchemical reinforcement, just stacking those on top of each other to get like the really stupid buffs.
Yeah, and to those who haven't played Skyrim, I mean, where have you been all your life? But anyway, but those who haven't played Skyrim, for some characters in the game, and I'm not talking about you yourself, like the NPCs or the enemies you fight, magic is incredibly broken in Skyrim. No matter what level you are at, there's some versions or there's some characters that are extremely broken with magic. There's not a lot that are broken with melee weapons, but when it comes to the fighting with magic, there's some people in there that are very, very difficult to fight. So, but I'll jump into that once we start talking about quest lines. But we'll jump into okay. So there are, I believe, if I count these off right, there are 6 guilds in Skyrim, and then the seventh is basically a pick between the sides of the war, which is Skyrim and the Empire, or the Stormcloaks and the Empire, whichever way you want to put it. Before we jump into the guilds, what was your pick when you? Because I picked the Stormcloaks. Who'd you pick?
So we're on the other side then. I've only picked the Imperials in the Civil War. However, I've never actually completed the Civil War.
I haven't either. So I got to a point where I basically finished everything in the game, quest lines, all that good stuff, and even defeating Alduin. I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and fix this war and go ahead and take care of it. And I got to the point where we're in the process of sacking Whiterun, and I go in there, and my game just it froze, and then I couldn't play Skyrim for some reason. Like I kept trying to get it turned on, and it would not work. I'm like, what the heck happened? And I'm guessing what happened was the reader in my PS3 stopped working, so I had to
Oh
get a whole new PS.
no.
I had to get a whole new PS3, and all of that data that was on Skyrim was gone when I got the new PS3. So I had to basically start over from scratch.
Ouch, that sucks.
Because as far as I know, and I'm not entirely sure about this, there was no way to transfer your data to another PS3 unless it was by linking the two together and then transferring that way. If there was a way, please let me know. But at the point, I did not know. Now with PS4, you can save them in the cloud. So even if you transfer a new PS4, you can upload that stuff to your new PS4. So, but I was very close to finishing the Civil War. I lost all that data. I was level, I believe, 55 in the game when I started it. So I was a complete beast at that point. I was one shotting people with my bow, but yeah, I never got a chance to actually finish it. Did I want to? Absolutely, because that was the last thing I honestly need to do in the game, pretty much, like big wise.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So I know we weren't really gonna. We were chatting before, and we weren't really gonna poke the topic of the Civil War. But seeing as we're there, did you know that the Civil War wasn't actually complete?
What do you mean?
So supposedly when Bethesda actually released Skyrim, they wanted a more fleshed out Civil War, but it got to the point where they were on such a timetable for shipping out the game that they slashed like it was like 40 to 50% of the Civil War itself. There was supposed to be um, a lot more battles and actual like monumental stuff before the sacking of any of the major cities.
Really? That is something. Well, I never knew that. You learn something new, folks.
Yeah,
So how much did they actually like? I guess we'll never know because they never put it in there. So I mean, hopefully, and if they do another 25th anniversary version of which they're probably going to do something like that. Hopefully, they get the opportunity to release all that stuff, or if it's in a file somewhere and they can release it, I would love to play the rest of it. Even though I never finished, I would love to play the full playthrough of it. Honestly.
yeah. Like honestly, there are, from what I've seen, there are some rather amazing people in the modding community that have actually found the files and have put them back into the game, or they've kind of recreated it from fragments of files, or just sort of built their own version of an enhanced Civil War. And from what I've seen, some of those mods are very, very good at that.
I'll have to look around and like if I can't get it myself, I would love to see someone like that has it. Like I can see the full playthrough because I would love to see it and be able to explore it. Like no matter how long it is, like I still would like to see like the full version and all of it put down and everything. Yeah, because with Civil War usually ends up a lot of sacking of towns and cities. So like it probably was a lot more than like than what we got. So I would love to see it. So if anyone has it or knows someone that has completed it, like send me a link or something like that, and I would love to watch it. But we'll move on. We'll move on to the topic of the guild. So who? So we have the companion guild, the companions guild, the thieves guild, the dark brotherhood, the dawn guard. We have the mages guild, and then we have the blades, which is one of the main quest lines. And then you tech the guild. There's technically a guild between the Stormcloaks and the Imperials. That's technically a guild, but it's not. And I think I covered all of them. Did I miss any?
There's one more guild that I know of,
Oh, which one's that?
the Bards Guild.
Oh, I always forget the bards every single time.
To be honest, the Bards, whether anyone loves or hates the Bards don't really have anything going for them. It's basically, I think, two quests to go get some music sheets, and then you don't really hear from them again.
In all honesty, like there could have been something that you could have done where like they could have added something into the game where they could have done like an extended version of the bards guild, and they could have added in an extra skill tree, whereas like you play music, and by playing the music, you get a plus something to your speech craft, but they already have the skill tree for speech already. But they could have added something in when you play music, like it could put people to sleep or something like that. I don't know.
Hmm.
There's a lot more stuff they could have added in or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you could have gotten like this
No.
this this bard's attire that you could have used to give you plus or minuses to your speechcraft, which would have been a bonus to selling stuff or having like certain conversations like that. You know?
Yeah. No, it definitely feels like some of the some of the guilds were definitely given a lot more than others.
Oh, for sure. Like some of them are like they the amount of stuff you get. Like I genuinely don't understand why people do the destroy the Dark Brotherhood quest line. When doing the quest line itself, you gain so much more stuff. You get a horse technically an immortal horse from that quest line that cannot die. No matter how
Hmm.
many times you fling it off the mountain, it cannot die. So
Huh.
I think that's a benefit to me.
Yeah, I can see that. I've never really mucked around with I've done a little bit of the was it the Dark Brotherhood, but I mostly ended up mucking around with the Thieves Guild.
Oh, for sure. Have you completed the Thieves Guild quest line? Like when I say
Yeah.
complete, I mean like as in you finish the main part, and then you get them back up to their rightful height.
Um, almost. So basically, I've done the entirety of the Thieves Guild questline, except for returning the key,
Mm,
because the skeleton key is so useful.
it
An
really
unbreakable
is.
lockpick. Yeah.
And like I think there's some mods in the game that you can actually like there's like some chamber that you can go that has a bunch of quest line stuff in there that you have to end up giving up, but you're able to use. I think the skeleton key is in there somewhere. I'm not entirely sure, or it might be a bug that you can't act. You're only allowed to like use it to for just that quest line. But here's the thing: I'm with you to an extent. So when they give you the skeleton key, I hold on to that thing until I finish. So I usually go companion, thieves guild, dark brotherhood. Um, what is it? The dawn guard, and then between the dawn guard and the blades quest line, I debate on whether I want to keep the skeleton key. But up until that point,
Mm.
I'm literally like I'm gathering as many lot picks as I can. By the time I finish, um, the Dawnguard Brotherhood, I usually have about 200-300 of those things. I'm like, you know what? I can put it back now, and
You know,
just to do it. But in order to get the Thieves Guild back up to its former glory, it takes a while. Like it's almost another entire quest line to do it because you got to do I think 10 missions for Vex, 10 missions for Delvin, and I think it's like 10 missions per thing. So 10 missions for lot picking, for pit pocketing, and then like it takes a while to get up there. And the only reward that you get is you get the Master Thieves Guild armor, which is good, but it's like I would expect a lot more from it. You know, like you get a lot more pretty much, but I digress.
yeah.
And you also like when you tell them like you're the Thieves Guild like master, like you get a discount from for like guards when you have to what is it when you have to like the guards try and stop you. It's like, hey, I'm part of the guild, you get a discount for that. But other than that, like
Yeah, no, that's fair. I know with a lot of the stuff with the guild, it is basically just building them back up. But
no,
yeah, no,
you're
there's
absolutely right.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of work to go into it, but I think part of the reward as well is also just how much loot you get out of it. Like you can get an astronomical amount of gold out of the Thieves Guild.
You're absolutely right
And
about that.
yeah,
And with the Thieves Guild, because I think every mission that you do for Vex or Delvin, you're given minimum I think 300 gold per mission. Minimum 300 gold. So doing all those missions and even getting them back up to their full power, and then even after doing that and can still doing missions, you can get like a pocket full of money, like enough to
oh,
buy a house in each realm amount of money.
yeah, it's a lot of money. But then again, especially for especially if you have the homestead expansion for it,
Hmm.
you need you basically need all that money
All of it. Yep. Because when I
because it is expensive.
like the very first house I got, obviously is the one in it's the one in White Rum because that's the first house you get to. I I went all in. Everything that was offered to me I could buy, I bought everything. And by the time I got done, I probably had like maybe 1,000 septims to my pocket. So like getting houses and refurbishing them and getting to where you want them, it costs a pretty penny. It does. And like don't
Oh
think you
yeah,
can skip out on it. It costs a lot.
yeah. He was sat there half the time going, "I had like 5,000 septimals on me. Where is all my gold gone?" And then you'll look over and you'll see like all of the upgrades you've done to your place of residence, or just all of the stuff that you've ended up like purchasing, especially like ingredients for alchemy and stuff like that. It's like that's where it's all gone.
And what I've done with the mods for the game is that one of the mods I put on once I finally figured out was to give all the merchants more money. So like I find this like this super cool item like questing and I'm like I have this already. Like I would find like a giant what is it? A glass battle axe that's worth like 700 gold, but I already have the enchantment better than what's on there. And I'm like, I go to sell it, and it's like I don't have enough money to purchase that. I'm like, well, crap. Now I just give them like 10,000 or 15, whatever it is, so that when I sell it to them, they still have money to. So even at this point with that mod, if you were to buy a house and sell everything, pretty much, the amount of stuff you get
Yeah.
from questing and everything, like you can make that money back up really easily, very easily.
Oh yeah.
And if you're
Like especially
stealing,
if you also just
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially if you also just stockpile a bunch of stuff as well. Like I will say, especially in Skyrim, I am a bit of a kleptomaniac. It's just the it's just the mentality of like going into a Draugr ruin and it's like you were saying earlier, anything that isn't nailed down is mine,
Pretty much.
and the house basically just becomes a warehouse. You go in, and it takes like 10 minutes to load, just because of how much stuff is on the ground or in chests.
Mm-hmm. And like so I have a place where I can usually keep everything. So like if this if you refurbish the entire White One house, the drawer next to your bed, I keep that. That is my gold necklace, rings, gold ore, silver ore, all that stuff goes in there. The chest that's in your room, that is primarily just for my armor. So your boots, your greaves, your chest armor and helmets, all that stuff goes in there. It's primarily just for that. Downstairs, in the room directly downstairs, which would be the kids' room if you adopt kids, I turn that to an alchemy station. All of my potion ingredients and anything like that, they all go in that little knapsack next to the alchemy table. It all goes in there. And then there's another chest above that. I put all my weapons in there. And then if I have any food ingredients like the ever infamous cheese wheel or any of that stuff, I throw
Mhm.
all of it in the drawer in the kitchen. So everything's pretty much set into place. And then the books I put on the shelves, unless there's not enough room. But I try to keep everything
Yeah.
organized. So like if I have to run in, like okay, I know I'm dropping off, like I'm dropping off a piece of armor or something like that. Go upstairs, drop it off, and I leave it. But the one thing I am a kleptomaniac about, surprisingly enough, as much as I honestly don't use them that much because I play the stealth archer, is I hoard potion ingredients and potions more than anything. Not even the miscellaneous items or anything like that. Anything that's miscellaneous, I pretty much sell or I use it. But I hoard potions, poisons, and their ingredients like crazy. Like I'll have 23
Mhm.
Mount Flowers somewhere stashed in my thing saying, I got to use all these. No, I don't.
It's like I might have a use for one of these one day. No, I won't. I'm gonna sit there for the next 25 years until the next release.
And then what is it? The beautiful Crimson Ninroot that you get so few of them, but it's like their effects are amazing though.
Oh yeah,
So
the nerd route that everyone is haunted in their dreams by.
and then the beautiful Death Bell mixed with Canis Root makes paralyzing poison that does like 40 damage of poison and it paralyzes the person for 5 seconds. I'm like, this is my special one that I know I'm gonna be fighting someone that's probably a little bit stronger than me, and that I probably need to use. So, and hopefully I don't miss.
Yeah, it's always the worst when you have that really powerful ingredient. You're almost at death's door, but if you hit this, if you time this just right and hit this just in the right position, you can get that upper edge, and then you miss.
Yep, every single time. So if you had to rank the guilds from like, and this is you incorporating like the stuff you get, the story, and the characters, like who would you rank as your top three, starting with number
Hmm.
three?
Starting with three,
Yeah,
honestly, I think number three would probably be the Mages Guild.
that's number three.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like I don't normally muck around with magic, but I do like. So I every single time that I play, I always, because it's not really explained anywhere in the in-game lore, but I always really want to figure out what happened to to the actual city where the actual Mages Guild is. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I'm thinking, was it Whiterun? But it's not Whiterun. I know that. I gotta look
Okay.
up a map of Skyrim at this point. Um, but yeah, like I do like. I also do like the story of the Mages Guild, like the whole. What's it? like, yeah, you go in, you learn a little bit of magic, and then suddenly it's like, hey, we've got this massive arcane device that no one really knows about, but we don't know about it yet. But it's in this massive dungeon. Hey, go, go, go down there and basically go
Yep.
defend or go research this. And it goes off the rails really quickly, which is always funny for Skyrim because it suddenly goes from yes, I'm exploring this tomb to why is there a small army here fighting over a giant orb?
Every single time.
Like, no mages are pondering the orb, but still.
And it's one of those things like what are your other two? Sorry, I didn't want to skip over.
No, that's all right. I was gonna say, number two, it's a toss up between the companions and the Dark Brotherhood because I don't really play the companions much because as cool as it is to have the whole like werewolf ability, I don't really do werewolves.
Understandable.
um, yeah, but
And
also
you're
like the Dark Brotherhood, it's a good storyline, but it definitely peters out too quickly. It goes from okay, we're doing a couple contracts to hey, we're gonna go assassinate the emperor to okay, it's over.
yeah, it's
It's like
it's
wait, where's the rest of the story?
it's a rough storyline. Like, oh man, like and again, like you said, it can go rather quick. It can. And the thing is that you're a character, and the thing is you're a character, and you know you're doing wrong, but you're bonding with these characters, and if someone spoils it for you, you know their end. You know their end,
Yeah.
like, and then the thing is like they're all the rest of them, like when you go off, I'm gonna do a couple spoilers here, so just if you haven't played it, just close off your ears or whatever. But
I was supposed to, the game's almost 20 years old. Like, if you,
I mean,
it's like unless someone is brand new to gaming, people have heard of Skyrim. But
some
yeah,
people
no, I get it.
some people have, but so when you go um to go take out the fake emperor, like everyone is like genuinely like excited to like be back on top again, to like do this one thing that's going to put them back on the map, and they're so supportive of you, and they're like, when you get back here, we're all going to like have cheers and drink, and we're all going to like celebrate and all this stuff. And like even Astrid, even though you know what's going to be end up happening with her, like everyone just seems so cheerful, like we're all going to just like we're going to go hang out and do, like it seems like after high school, like we're all going to go do this stuff. And then you find out mid mission that hey, your friends are about to be sacked, and like you get there and you show up to the most ominous sight that's pretty much in the game, that I was not expecting when I got in there, because the very first person you see is the old wizard guy, which I forget his name, but you see about, I'm gonna say about maybe 30 arrows just sticking out of him. Like, y'all just overkilled this guy, and the arrows are pinning him to the tree. So essentially, they shot him. He got stuck to the tree, and they just kept hitting him over and over and over again. That's the very first
Yeah.
sight you see, going back to the hideout, and then you're in there, and everything is on fire. And now,
Yeah. It's like,
and yeah, and then you get in there, no one is surviving. Like, you see one person that you're like, okay, he can do this, he got this. You try and go save Ermbjorn. Next, he gets cut down by an Imperial and dies, so you can't rescue him. And then
yeah.
I immediately started looking for I was looking for three people. I was looking for Nasir, Babette, or Gabrielle, because those are the three I liked the most out of everyone. It was those three. The Argonian was literally like, he was cut down, I think, on the way up the stairs. Gabrielle, I think, was killed in her sleep or something like that. So I was upset. I was upset by her, and I couldn't find Babette anywhere, like at all. So I assume when they had cut her down, and then you see Nazir, and it's like, okay, let me at least go try and help this one guy. And when you hear like the big explosion, like, okay, everyone's gone, and I'm by myself. And you end up seeing Nazir and Babette, and I'm like, okay, two people are alive. And it's like, okay, where's Astrid? And you go to find her, because you know what you know now. And you want to go find her and confront
Yeah,
her, and you realize, and like, oh, she's on death's bed right now. So it's a sad storyline, but the end all thing of it is like what happened to them is deserved because they're not like the Assassin's Creed assassins. They're not. They're actual cold blooded killers. This is what they do. So what happened to
yeah.
them is a measure of justice. So I cannot be sad about what happens because it is the story itself is good, but I can't be sad at the fact that most of them die because again, they are actual cold blooded killers. I can't be sad in that fact. But
Oh
it
yeah.
still
And
is
like the
sad.
whole,
Say again?
I was gonna say, like, especially because the whole opening for the Dark Brotherhood is you accidentally. It's like you're going into
Remy, let's be real. It's not an accident. It's not an accident.
yeah. Well, it is and it isn't. You basically you get given so you go into what's the capital of the Stormcloaks again?
Winterhold? No, no. Oh
Hell?
God.
No,
It's not Winterhold.
that's
It's Winter
it's the one up
something.
north.
It's Winter something. Winterhold,
Uh,
Whiterun,
so much for us doing
Riften.
a Skyrim one, and we can't remember the city names.
Windhelm? Is it Windhelm? No.
Maybe.
Someone will tell me in the comments. I'm not entirely sure at this moment. Let me pull up Google and see if I can find it. Somebody probably
Windhelm.
already
It is
knows way
Windhelm.
before me. But
Yeah. To be honest, there is too many. There are three cities that sound very similar to each other: Winterhold, Windhelm, and Whiterun. But Whiterun is at least it's unique in that it is like the first major city that you go to, but it's also the one that a lot of the story revolves around.
I'm gonna say it's Windhelm. I'm gonna say it's Windhelm.
It
I'm
is
gonna.
Windhelm, yeah.
It is Windhelm.
I may have
Okay.
I've just got the map.
So like, I was drawing a blank on it. So like, yeah, and there's only two reasons for you to go to that city, and in any reason, the only reason you go there to Windhelm is literally to either start the Dark Brotherhood quest line or to go join the Stormcloaks. That's the only two reasons you need to go there. There's no reason for you to go to that city. None. Because there's nothing for you in that
Yeah,
city that's really beneficial for you.
I mean there is another reason. There is the boat that goes over to Solstheim.
I said what I said mostly before they started adding on DLC and all that. Like up until the DLC, there was only for those two reasons: the Dark Brotherhood and just to join the Stormcloaks. Other than that, there was no other reason to go to that city.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It is a rather it's a major location, but it is rather desolate, I'd say.
But to rank my favorite guilds when it comes to like story, rewards, and characters, I would probably have to say my top three are. I'm gonna say number three is the companions. Strictly, actually, you know what? I'll rewind that. Number three is the Dark Brotherhood, mostly because what I said earlier, what happened to them was deserved. I was still sad because some of the characters I liked, but it still was deserved what happened to them.
Yeah.
Number number two is the companions. Mostly because it's the first guild that you actually get to, and they are accepting of you immediately when coming in. You don't have to do anything to prove yourself to them. You simply just go in, show up, and say, like, "Hey, I want to be part of this," and they're like, "Okay, you're part of it." You go do this one mission, you come back, and you're ready to go in, and they accept you immediately. That's all you got to do. Everywhere else, you have to do something risky or not exactly legal or something else like that, or you got to pass a bunch of tests. It's not that with the companions. They immediately accept you, and you're able to build up your early game skills however way you want. You can build up your bow skills, heavy armor, light armor, one-handed, two-handed weapons. You're all able to build that up through this quest line, and it helps you honestly figure out what type of play style you want. That's why I tell everyone to do the companion's quest line to get yourself ready for whatever play style you want to do, whether it be magic, archery, two-handed, one-handed, sword and shield, any of that. This is a good way for you to practice before you start getting
Yeah.
into it. And then my number one is the Thieves Guild quest line. Mostly because of, I would say because of the gold, but the story is just so good because you're believing this one person is the reason behind why the guild is literally being destroyed and is so down its luck. And the one person you think is trying to protect the guild is the reason they are failing. And the plot twist is so amazing. And from that, from the Nightingale sword to the bow to the armor that you get, the two sets of armor that you, because you get two from the Thieves Guild, you get your regular Thieves Guild and the Nightingale armor. You get one of the
Mm.
best items in the game, which is the skeleton key. You get a Nightingale skill market or whatever it might possibly be, or something like that. Once you return the skeleton key, which is a great reward after that, the benefits of doing the Thieves Guild quest line on top of the characters and on top of the what you get, it's my favorite. It's my favorite guild, and it's honestly my favorite quest line out of all of them for me.
Yeah, no, I feel that. My number one was also going to be the Thieves Guild. It's also as far as I'm aware, besides the companions, it's also the easiest to get into as well.
True, very very true. Because that pickpocketing, that thing, I don't think you can fail that way unless you were literally sitting in his pocket for too long.
So you can actually fail it because with my character, I don't put anything really into the pickpocket. So because of that, I most of the time, unless I put a little bit into the stealth stuff, I normally end up failing that. But but it doesn't cancel out the quest or anything. It literally is just hey, that's an unorthodox way of going about it, and I had to distract the guards so you don't get as much of a cut as you were hoping. However, welcome to the Thieves Guild. Let me take you on down.
Okay, I can understand that. That does make sense. And like the what is it the with the with the quest line for with the Thieves Guild and everything, you are given so many opportunities to one make money, but because of the missions, they send you everywhere across Skyrim, everywhere. So you become familiar with the territory and everything. That working with them requires you to explore. It's almost the same
Yeah.
thing with the Dark Brotherhood and the companions. It requires you to explore. With the companions, you find caves and different mountain areas that you can fast travel to get certain areas. With the Dark Brotherhood, you're going to camps and possibly cities, mostly camps and other places to do your contracts. And then with the Thieves Guild, you were getting familiar with all of the cities pretty much, where certain things are, how to get there, and then also figuring out which best what were the best places to, essentially pickpocket or go to. So those three guilds help prepare you for the game pretty much in every single way. So to me,
Yeah.
that's what I
It's
have.
also as well, it also unveils a lot of maybe not fully important locations for the rest of the game, but definitely some interesting locations that you You might come across, but a lot of the time you'd go, oh, okay, that's cool, and not really go and explore it. Like, what was it? The da, 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 is that the Hunting Brew Meadery or something like that?
Yeah,
The one that's just off is in just outside of Riften in the lake. Like, I know personally, I would have gone over there and had a look around because I quite like exploring. But a lot of other people would probably look at that and just go, "Oh, okay, that's cool in the distance," and moving on.
exactly. Like it again, it requires you to explore, and I have to make a small modification to my list because I was going to put it as an honorable mention, but it's honestly tied in with my number one spot because the story is so good and what the things you get plus the characters is just like I can't wait to play this quest line whenever I pick up Skyrim. The two quest lines are always I am ready to play the most when I pick up Skyrim are the Thieves Guild and the Dawn Guard. Those are two of my favorites because I love Serana. I do. She is my favorite companion. I keep her with me whenever I'm able to get there and I get her as a companion or a follower. I keep her with me. I don't take anyone else. If I have to forcibly take someone with me, I send her somewhere close to like when the quest is done so I can go pick her up. I keep her with me everywhere.
Nice. I've, I think I've activated the Dawn Guard questline, but I've never really done anything with it, unfortunately.
I think you get it at level either 10 or 20. I believe it's level 20.
Sounds about right.
But before we close out this episode, this is going to be possibly the part 1 to a part 2 of an episode. We're going to go over our just really quick our probably our favorite 3 items slash weapons in the game that you have enjoyed the most. I'm going to let you start off.
Okay. Um, I think one of my favorite items, as much as it is loud, I think Meridia's Beacon.
And everyone finds it eventually. Everyone finds it eventually.
Oh yeah. So it's not so much for like yeah, we all know Meridia's beacon is loud. It pops up randomly in a chest and suddenly you get blasted by a new hand touches the beacon
Every time.
and it scares the crap out of everyone. Even if you know what's going to happen, you unknowingly pick this thing up and it's just bugger.
And you better hope
But
you're not playing
I
this. You better hope you're not playing this game at night when your parents are asleep because you are going to get caught.
yeah, the whole neighborhood's going to know.
Oh, someone's touched the
Uh
beacon again.
this is sound the alarms Meridia's awake. Uh but no, like the whole quest line is it can be a bit of a roundabout at times, and it is a lot of like, okay, go here, like do these puzzles. It's like, oh look, the evil mage has defiled my shrine. Okay, go in, kill them. The the actual like boss of the area that you have to kill, he's rather difficult actually.
For which one?
It was surprising actually. Um, oh, I forget his name, but he's like essentially he's a lich. He's what was it? So yeah, he's corrupted Dawnbreaker and is using its power to like raise the dead. And you have
Okay.
to go kill him in order to actually claim the sword. But the thing is, it's like he's actually rather difficult, even if you are playing a because you can get that the beacon anytime. I think it's after like level 5 or 10 or something like that. And this guy is, I'm guessing at minimum like level 15 or going on to 20. So if it's your first time grabbing the orb and then suddenly you get sent to the was it the Western Mountains of Skyrim,
Yeah,
and
pretty
in
much.
my case, get the cutscene. Was it get the cutscene bombarded by a dragon trying to attack you? Yeah,
True, true.
that was rather yeah. Was you get teleported up into the sky, Meridia's chatting to you, and then on my end, I've got a dragon just beelining it around me, breathing fire on me, and actually damaging me during the cutscene. And you can't move, you can't attack, you can't do anything.
Oh, that's incredibly unlucky.
And then
Wow.
it gets worse once the cutscene was actually done. And normally it would, the screen would fade to white, and then you'd go down and back onto the the roof of the temple, and then start the quest properly. Yeah, no, I got soft locked up there because the dragon was it was continuously attacking me to the point where the script wouldn't trigger, and because
Oh,
the
that's right.
script
Because
wouldn't trigger, it
it
wouldn't.
wants you to kill the dragon first so it can start, but you're stuck. Oh man, that's incredibly unlucky.
Yeah, because the dragon wasn't supposed to be up there.
Oh
It
man,
followed me somehow.
that no.
Uh but yeah,
What were your
Dawnbreaker
other
and
two?
Viridia's Beacon. One. Hmm?
What was your other two?
The other two, honestly, I'm not too sure. I'd say not a specific item, but like a general group of items is the. I still can't remember the material, but it's the material that you can mine up in Solstheim and make a full armor and weapon set out of it. I just cannot remember what it is called.
Hmm.
Da, da, da.
While you look that up, I'll jump over to my favorite three. Um,
Yeah.
my favorite three, starting with number three, is is a controversial item, specifically on how you have to upgrade it, and that's the ebony blade. The the ebony blade is a two handed weapon, but it's only like I think 10 pounds or something like that. So it would technically be considered a one handed weapon, but it's two handed. So this weapon gives you the opportunity to have a two handed weapon on you that you can use that's not incredibly heavy. So you're not being weighed down by a bunch of things, but it has a permanent absorb health spell on it. So no matter how many times you swing it, it will not lose the spell charge like as you do with your one of your regular enchanted weapons. It'll keep that absorb health thing on there for it, and you're able to upgrade that by a very difficult means if that was to be the case. But um, what so this is honestly the way I would upgrade it if given the choice. If I have a companion with me that I know that's they're easily gonna die. We're fighting an enemy and I see that they're very close to dying, like they're about to die, like their health like they're crawling on the ground and like one good hit's gonna get them, I hit them with the sword.
Yeah.
I'm doing that for them because guess what? They're gonna get killed by the enemy. I'm gonna do it anyway, and it seems like it's like betrayal, but like it's a mercy killing at this point. They're gonna die. They have like 8 arrows in them, and they're about to die. I'm gonna do the finishing blow because guess what? We still got 16 enemies around us, and you're about to die. So let me go ahead and take care of this. And then
Uh,
my number two is the skeleton key, obviously, because of the benefit you get from that thing. Because you can hold on to that thing until you're finally like, you know what, I've done everything I need to do. I've unlocked every lock I need to unlock. There is nothing else for me to do with the skeleton key. I have about 500 lock picks in my thing. Let's go put it back. Let's go put it back.
yeah.
And then my number one, I would have to say, are the the stones that are they're scattered around Skyrim. So like the Warrior Stone, the Thief Stone, all those things, because they're random stones, but they give you random abilities, and they're free abilities as well. You don't have to do anything for them. They are free. So if you're about to do a specific mission, you can go to one of those stones like, hey, I need a little boost in something. Let me just use this stone. And like, yeah. So collectively them as a set, I would have to say.
Okay.
But
Oh, that's fair.
what would you say is your what would you say is your last one?
Um, the last one I probably will. I think this will be a two for one. I think like it is the skeleton key, like you, but it's also for the fact of because I can basically just gather as many like all the gems really because after a while you just stop selling stuff and I start collecting gems. Like I know in a lot of the houses I just have a room that I just dump all of my gems onto the ground. Like it's basically it's like walking into Scrooge McDuck's vault. Like you just see all you walk in and there's just gold and gems all over the floor. Although I always love the mods where they specifically add like the big treasure rooms into like player homes, and no matter you can just dump all the treasure in there and the pile will grow. It's always satisfying.
That
Um,
misconception that you can jump into a pile of gold and you won't. It's like jumping in water. Yeah, like no, it doesn't work like that.
oh yeah, no, it's gonna be like jumping onto cement.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did I did look it up and I did see what the material was that you get from Solstheim. It's Stalrim.
Say it again.
It Stalrim.
Stalrim.
It's basically like a
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, it's like ice ebony stuff, and it's a really nice material.
It makes a really cool sword. I actually saw the sword before, and it actually really looks nice. I'm not even joking.
Oh yeah, I end up going a lot of the time, like the big two-handed sword with that. But also the armor itself, it looks very similar to the old iron armor,
Really,
like
I'll have to check it
from
out.
like yeah. So it looks rather similar to the old iron armor that they used in the trailers for the game. So I know iron armor in the game already. It's got the horns, and yeah, it's the classic Dragonborn look. The Starum is basically, especially the like heavy helmets that you get. They do have those horns that come off it, and it is very reminiscent of the armor itself.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, folks, we're going to wrap it up here for our part one of our deep dive into the Skyrim games. The next time we come on, we'll be talking about um, our favorite cities, weapons, followers, and if this video does well, we'll jump into our favorite shouts that are in the game as well, because that's going to be a very
Mhm.
extensive conversation and how we misuse those shouts on a very, very multiple time basis, or at least the thousands upon thousands of YouTube videos that I've seen concerning the shouts. But we'll leave that. We'll leave that for another time. Remy, you have any last remarks before we close out for this episode?
My mind has gone blank, so not this time, unfortunately.
All right, then. Well, as always, folks, always try to keep things canon, but when in all reality, keep it hard canon. We'll see you next time.
Adios.